I didn't check your meeting.
Yeah. So today what we are going to start, okay, we will see how to create directories. Directories means like folders. Okay. How to create these folders by using Java programming, and how to create like Word documents or text files or XML, whatever. So how to we will see how to create text files. In the similar way, you can able to create any kind of files like documents or text file or XML or PDF, whatever. So how to create files, and the second one is how to write the data into that files, and after that we will see how to read the data and what are the different ways to do all those things. So these are the things we are going to see today. So this is called as a basically file handling, Java IO concepts. Okay, so let me close it. Yes, you're done. So now I'm going to create a simple a new project, files, files, and the project name is files, and let me finish it. Yeah, finished it. So now first I'm going to create simple folders we used to call it directories. Okay, let me create a new class called file demo. So this is our class name, and the package name I'm giving com.file. So this is our package name and this is our class name, and I need the public static void main default method, so I selected this one and finish it. Yeah, so here, right, so to create file, right, so to create directories we are going to use a new class called file equal to new. See, if you see here, right, so there is a class called file, and this file is an existing class. So what is that, some sound I'm getting? Yeah, some noise. Yeah, sometime it used to come like alarm, like kind of thing. So now it is fine. So if you see here, so there is a inbuilt class called file. So this file is available inside your JDK, and this class, this file is a class, and this is an inbuilt class, and this class is available inside this package, java.io package. Okay, and this is a class basically. So we need to create an object for this class. So this argument, right, so when you are creating this object, as part of the arguments we have to pass the folder name. What kind of folder you want to create? Name, basically name. So I want to create a folder called test. So it will create a folder with name as a test, and it will keep in the same location. Okay, first give the file name, then what you have to do, so you have the object file dot make directory. So we need to call this method mkdir. So this is the folder name, and from the object you can call this method mk directory, and it will return a boolean flag. So what this boolean flag will give, if the folder will create successfully, then it will give true. Okay. Okay, so boolean, right? So I'm going to write one simple if condition. If F. F means if this is a true, then this if condition will execute, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm printing directory created successfully, else directory is not created, correct?
Mm.
If it written true means the folder is created properly and this statement will be printed. If the directory is not created due to some issues, then you will get a false. So then we are going to display directory is not created. Directory is not created. Okay,
Yeah.
this is clear, right? So file is an inbuilt class and it is available inside this java.io package, and we are importing that one and we are passing the folder name, and we are from the object we are going to call mk directory, make directory basically. So that is a method. Then run this program and we will see. You see here what it is displaying?
Directory created successfully.
Directory created properly, correct? So displaying directory created successfully. Okay, now where is the directory? Just come back to this program and just right click and just refresh. Then you will see the directory. Did you see here?
Yeah.
The folder is created, correct?
Mm.
So now what I will do, I will run the same program again back. Now see that directory is not created, correct?
Yeah.
Why? Because with folder name test, there is already one existing folder is there. So that's what it is not able to create second time, correct?
Yeah.
It's clear, right?
Yeah.
So because there is already test folder is there, so because of that it is not able to recreate it.
Mm.
It's clear, right? This simple example.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now I want to create two folders at a time. So how to do that one? So I will comment out this one. I want to create two folders. So
Mm.
basically I want to create a folder called X, and inside that I want to create a folder called Y. So how to do that one? So a
Okay.
folder name is X, inside that another folder called Y, correct?
Mm.
So here we are
Mm.
creating multiple folders, correct? More than one, correct?
Mm. Yes.
So we need to call a separate method called make directories, mkdirs. So we
Mm.
need to call this, you can call mkdirs and you can run this program and we will see whether X and Y folders will create or not. So it's saying directory created successfully. So now
Mm.
come back and just try to refresh whether the folders are created or not. Yes, did you see here?
Yeah. Two folder.
Directories are created.
Mm.
It is clear, right? How to create
Yes.
single folder and how to create multiple folders.
Mm.
So this is the way to create folder. Okay,
Mm.
now I want to create a text file, not folder. So how to do that one? So far we created directories. Now I want to create basically a text file. So how to do that one? So to create a text file, what we have to do? So we have to copy the same piece of code. Copy the same piece of code, and what file you want to create? I want to create abc.txt. So I want to create abc.txt and I want to keep in the same location. Do you see any abc.txt file here? No,
No.
right? So far it is not there. So now I want to create a file name with abc and with extension as a text. So we have an object. So from the object we have to call a method called create new file. So it also will return a flag So whenever we are calling this function, it's getting stuck. So whenever you are calling this method, right, from this object, create new file. So this method is throwing an exception of type IO exception, compile time exception. So we have to handle this one, correct? So compile time exception, if any method is throwing an exception, then we have to provide a try catch here. Otherwise this code will never compile.
Okay.
So we have already discussed it previously, right? Like runtime exceptions, compile time exceptions and errors. So in case of compile time exceptions, we have to provide a try catch. So how to do that one? So I'm going to write try and copy this one and paste inside this. Okay, and catch. So catch, right? So what kind of exception it's saying? IO exception, correct?
IO.
So you just write the same exception and print that one. File is not created. Some issue, correct? I'm displaying some issue, something. Okay. So now once file
Yes.
is created successfully, I want to print this message the same as it. Just copy this one and paste inside the same block. Clear? If file will create successfully, then we are going to display file is created successfully, correct? If due to some issues file is not created, then we are going to display this message, correct?
Yeah.
So you understood, right, why we are calling this, why we added this try catch? Because so this method is throwing an exception of compile time exception of like a IO exception. Did you see here, throws IO exception?
Yeah.
This create new file. So that's what we are handling, that kind of exception, because we are calling this function. So we need to take care of all these failure scenarios. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me run this program and we will see whether the file will be created or not. So it's saying file is created successfully. Come back here and just try to refresh. See here, file is created, abc dot text.
Text.
So now we know how to create folders and how to create files, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now we will see so how to write the data into the files. So how to write
Okay.
the data into the files. So that is the second topic. So to write the data into the files, there is a two approaches. So there is a two approaches to write the data or to read the data. So the first approach is called as a streams. The first approach is streams. The first one is streams and the
Strings.
streams, yes, stream. The second approach is buffer mechanism.
Okay.
So first we will see streams. What is mean by streams, say for instance, if you have a bulk data, if you want to write the data into the file, so we need to convert this entire data what you are planning to write into the stream. Basically stream means like byte, a kind of byte symbols, ones and zeros. We need to convert the entire data into the byte format, then we need to write the data into the file. This is called as streaming,
Yeah.
correct? We are converting the entire data into a different format, then we are writing into the file. The similar way, whenever you are reading the data, so we need to read that bytes and again we need to convert the data into the original character.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is called as streaming. So we are converting the entire data into a different format and we are saving it, and when we are reading the data, again we are converting the streams into the original format. So this is called as a streams, and this is one of the approach. Okay, let me give one example so that you will get more sense. Okay, let me create another class. So the package name I'm giving stream. The package name is stream demo. So this is the class name, and I'm selecting public static void main. But these steps we have to remember basically. So now I'm going to introduce some of the new classes. So first we have to write the first step is create file, correct?
Fine.
First we have to create file, then we have to write the data. So how to create file? File equal
File.
to new file, correct?
New file. Yeah.
And here we need to give the file name. So what is the file name I want to give? I want to give like abc, sorry, abc is already there, pqr dot text. So this is the file I want to create. We need to import that one. So file is ready. Okay. Once you create the file, then what we have to, we have to write the data into,
Yeah. Fine.
file, correct?
Yeah.
So this is second step. So to write the data into the file, so we have another called file output stream. So this is another class, file output stream. So we are going to use to write the data into file. So we need to create an object, file output stream. So this is also a class, and this is also available in the same package, java.io package. So we need to import it.
Mm.
So when we are creating this object, so we have to pass file object as part of constructor. Okay. So I created file here,
Mm.
and I am passing this file to this constructor as an argument.
Mm.
And if you see here, right, so this constructor is throwing an exception of type file not found. So what we have to do, whether we have to provide a try catch or we need to rethrow it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide a try catch. Right, try catch, try, and let me write here close and catch. So what is that exception it is giving? File not found, correct? Yes. So this is the one. So it's giving file not found. So this constructor is giving file not found. So I have provided try catch. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear? So now the second question.
Yes.
So we need some data to write into the file system, correct? So what I want to do, I am preparing some data. So what is the data? So this is the data I want to write. So I'm going to write. So these data I want to write into my file. Some text, you can write whatever you want as per your wish. Okay. So these text I want to write into this file. So what I had to do, I mean what we had to do, right? So before writing the data, I told you, right, so we need to convert the entire data into the stream. So whatever you want to write, whatever you are planning to write the data into the text file, so we need to convert that data into the streams, correct? So how to convert
Yeah.
that stream? So we need to convert basically into the byte array. Get bytes, that's all. So now entire text we are converting into bytes, correct?
Right. Yeah.
So now there is a conversion happened, your original data is converted into bytes. So now what we have to do, so we have a file output stream object, write. So we need to call the write method, and you need to pass the we need to pass all the byte data. Okay, so did you see here there is an error here? So whenever I'm calling the
Yeah.
file output string write method, so it is throwing an exception of IO exception. So what I had to do, so I had to add one more catch block which will handle IO exceptions.
Mm.
So copy the same catch, and the exception here it is IO exception, correct?
Mm.
So now it is clear. Now the data is written into the, so this method will write the data into the file system. So once the data is written, what you have to, so you have to close the connection. So that's all, your job is done. So data will be data will be right into the PQR text file. So what it will do, first it will create the text file, correct? After that we
Yeah.
are trying to write the data into text file by using this object, and this is the text
Mm.
I want to write, and the entire text I converted into the bytes, and I'm calling a method called write, and I'm passing the data.
Mm.
Finally I need to close the connection, correct? This is a stream, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So this is the file system, this is my data I'm trying to write. So write the data. Once the data is written, then you have to close the connection.
Mm.
So now this is done.
Okay.
Now let me run this program. Whether the file will be created or not, data will be written or not, we will see it. Okay, now if you refresh, there is no PQR file, correct? So now let
Yeah.
me run this one and we will see whether the file will be created or not. So there is no, I have not added any sysout, so we will not see anything.
Mm.
Now let
Mm.
me refresh here. You see here there is a file got created, pqr.txt, and if you open this one,
Yeah.
and you can see text here, correct?
Text. Yeah.
So now file
Yes.
is ready, file we have created, and also we have written the data into the file, correct?
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, now let me comment out this program. Now we don't want this one, so our task is done. We have created file and we have written the data into the file system, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So what is read of the print structures?
Yes, what it will
Maybe
do,
I missed.
if any exception will come, if you call this method, what it will do, it will print the exception message.
Okay.
So it will display the entire exception message, so that
Okay.
user can, if some your developer can see the exception and he can able to understand it.
Yeah. Without giving like proper message, they
Yes,
can
yes,
allow the
it will
print
display
element.
entire exception message, so that by seeing the developer they can able to understand it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Fine. So now we have written the data into the file. Now the second task is we need to read the data, correct? So how we are going
Yeah.
to read the data from one of the existing file? So to read the data from an existing file, so again we need to create a file object. File equal to new. So I'm going to read the same file. Okay, we have already some
Mm.
sample file, so I will try to read the same file and I will display the file content. Okay, now file is ready. So to read the data from the file, what we have to do, so we have to use a class called file input stream.
Yeah. I have one question.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you are creating file again
Mhm.
called PQR. I
Correct.
mean, even though it is existence file, should we create the file again and again?
No, here we are not creating the file, we are reading the data. So from which file we are trying to read? So from this file,
Okay. So we are using the same code for creating and reading the data.
same file, same file. Not, so
Okay.
this code is for creating the file and writing the data. Now I am going to
Mm-hmm.
write separate code to read the data from the file. To read, I want to read this data from the pqr.txt file, any file, not only pqr. You take any text file and read the data and display it.
Okay.
Okay, so you take any file. So you take, say for instance, if you want to take some text file from the desktop, did you see here there is a file called stocks, correct? So let me
Mm.
read this file. So here there is some text is there, correct?
Yeah.
So basically I will try to read this one. So instead of that one, so we need to take this location. So this file is there under which location? Under this location, C user del desktop, correct? So copy the
Mm.
complete path and come back here. So this is the file location. Basically we need to give which file we have to read, correct? So my
Mm.
file is there over here under slash. So what is the file name here? Stocks dot
Top.
text.
Top. Text.
Text. So this is the one, stocks dot text file. So this file basically I want to read it and I want to display the content, correct?
Mm.
So you take any
Mm.
file.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
you need to give the file full path if the file is there in a different location.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and we need to end with two backward slashes.
Mm.
Okay, so this is the file I want to read. So to read the data we need to use file input stream.
Okay.
File input stream. To write the data we used file output stream, correct?
Mm.
To read the data we are going to use file input stream equal to new file input stream, and we need to pass the same file object, correct? Okay,
Mm. Yeah.
if you see here there is an error here. So the file input stream, it is throwing an exception of file not found.
I'm not fun.
Yes, so we need to handle try catch. Try and followed by catch file not found. So e dot print stack test, so it will display the exception message.
Mm.
Okay, so now, so how to read the data? So now I told you, right? So while writing the data we convert it into bytes. Similarly while reading the data, so that time also you will get a bytes. So that byte we need to
Mm.
convert again back to character.
Mm.
So how to do that one? So I'm going to declare a integer I equal to 0. Okay, a single variable I have declared. So I'm going to take a while loop. I equal to fis dot read. Okay, I'm reading
Mm.
each character. I'm reading each character and I'm assigning to integer variable. So every time
Mm.
I need to check that variable is not equal to, sorry, is not equal to -1.
Mm.
Okay, so this is the one. I need to, every time I need to read each character and that character should not be -1. If it is not equal to
Mm.
-1, then I am going to print the character. I want to display the content in my console. So that's what I'm converting the character
Is it
into,
system error dot println?
oh sorry, out. Error means it will display in red color.
Okay.
Yeah,
I never
yeah, if
used
yeah,
that.
same thing it will display, but it will display in red color. So whatever we are
Okay.
going to type here to display in red color.
Mm-hmm.
Out means it will display in black color. So that is the difference.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now here if you see here, right, there is error here. So whenever I am calling the fis.read method, single character whenever I am trying to read, so it is throwing an exception of type IO
Mm.
exception. So I need to add
Mm.
one more catch. So done. Once once the data is completely read, so we have to close the connection. This is very
Connection.
important, correct? So if you connect to database, right, so whenever once your operation is done, we have to close it. Whenever you are opening the file, so once your reading operation is done, you have to close the connection. So now let me run it, whether we can see the data or not. Yes, if you see here, right, so yeah, we can able to read all the data.
Character by character.
Character by character is reading. So what we have to do, so don't use println, just try to print. And now let me read it, what will happen, whether do we will get correct. Do you see here?
Yeah. Then what is the difference between okay, line by line meaning
Yeah,
print
what
element?
I did, print ln means each character we are reading and we are printing, correct?
Yeah.
So each character, if you use print ln, what it will do, for every character, if it will print one character, again it will come to the next line. It will print one character, again it will come to the next line. Meaning it will print character C and it will print next character in here, and A, B, C, it will print like that. But I don't want to print each character in a separate line. I want to see like C, C2, B, B, C, C. I want to see data like this. I don't want to see like this. So in that case, you can use print. So that is the difference between print and println. So anyway, this one I will tell you later. Just I'm telling you. So anyway, the data, you can see the same data. I will open the text file what I was using, and so that you can see the same data. That file was there under desktop, and where is that? Yes, so this is the file I was reading. Basically you can see the same data now, correct?
Yeah.
So just I'm trying to read some text file and I'm displaying in my Java side. So this is the way to read the data and display, to read the data and writing the data.
Correct. Okay.
So this is the
Yeah.
simple program. So this first portion is writing the data into the file system, and the second portion is reading the data from an existing
Reading
file.
the
Clear, right?
yes.
Okay, so this is one approach to write the data and to read the data. So there is another approach also is there. Okay, so what is the difference between, what is the important point we can notice over here, right? So here we are doing a lot of conversion, correct? See here we are converting integer to char. Similarly previously also, this is the data I am trying to write, so I converted the entire data into bytes. So here
By
there is a lot of conversion is happening, correct? So this is one of the disadvantage of this approach.
okay.
Okay, so how you are going to override overcome this approach, I mean these problems? So there is another approach called buffering, buffer system. So let me create another class. com.buffer file buffer demo, and I need public static void main and finish it. So this is also almost same, but only difference is, so we are going to use some different classes. Okay, so the first one here also I will try to create a new file and I will write the data into the file system. Okay, so to create the file I have to use file equal to new file, correct? So what is the file name you want to create? xyz
Sorry.
text. So this is the file I want to
Okay.
create it. So if you are not giving any location like C drive, D drive, C and all, right, so it will create directly in the same location. If you want to create this file in a specific drive, say for instance I want to create a file in this location. Let me create, yes, in this location. I want to create file in this location, that XYZ text file. So then come here and give that location. So we need to give 2 slashes. So wherever you want to create, give that file location properly and file name. Clear? So this is the file I want to create in this location, C users del desktop test. Okay. Now come back.
Yeah.
So now this is the file I want to create it. Now I want to write the data. To write the data, we are going to use a class called file writer. Yes, this is the class file writer. So I'm going to use file writer. File writer, and we need to pass the file object, what file you want to create it. Okay, clear? So this file
Yeah.
writer constructor is throwing an exception of type IO exception. So what you have to do? So we have to handle try catch. Try and close it, catch, followed by what is that exception is throwing?
Exception.
IO
I
exception.
will.
IO exception. So we need to handle that one. So you can print that one so that you can see the message. So okay, clear? So now get the
Yeah.
text. What text you want to write it? So name. So you can write whatever you want. CF Technologies course founder. So I want to write this text message. So let me write here some more thing. Bangalore, India. So this is the message I want to write in my file. Okay.
Okay.
So here you no need to convert this text into bytes. So you just call fw dot write string. That's all. Once the data is written, fw dot close. Done. Your job is done. This is very easy, right? So here you no need to convert to string to bytes, nothing. There is no conversion here. So now let me run this program. So there is no error, and go to that location. Did you see here?
Yeah.
xyz.txt file is created, and it created just now 11:18 p.m. So as per the Indian Standard Time, now the time is 11:18:53, and you can open this text file and you can see the text CF Technologies
Yeah.
Bangalore, India. It's very easy and it's very fast. Correct? Here there is no, here we are not doing any conversion,
Conversion.
and it will
Yeah.
use some buffer mechanism. Buffer mechanism meaning, say for instance, if you are trying to write 1 GB of bulk data into the file, so what it will do, it will not try to write entire thing in one shot. It will try to take part by part. It will try to take 100 10 MB, 10 MB, 10 MB, and it will write it,
Okay.
so that you will never get any, network issues. And here there is no conversion.
Yeah.
So this is the advantage of this approach compared to the previous one. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, now
Which,
yeah,
yeah. Okay. Which thing is used in general?
yes, you use, sir, you go for this one, buffer mechanism. This is the best approach. You go
Okay.
for this approach.
Okay.
Okay, now this is clear, right? How to write the data by using buffer system, correct? So
Yeah.
now we are going to see how to read the data. I want to read the same file. So whatever I have written previously, or any file, whatever you want to write, so how we are going to read it? So you just copy the same code again, or you write it back. That is also not a problem. So instead of typing again, just I copied the same file. So to read the data, so we are going to use a different class called file reader. So we need to import it. So file reader, and we need to create object for file reader, and here we don't need any text, we have to read the data. So file reader, correct? Yes. So to read the data, what we have to is, I'm going to create a variable called string name equal to null. By default I took one variable, and I'm going to create a simple while loop. So name equal to file reader dot read. So where is read? One second, file reader dot read boolean character int file writer. I use file reader and I'm passing the object, and I'm trying to read now. Dot read character count input stream. Oh sorry, here file writer is done, now file reader is done. Now I have to use here buffer reader, buffer buffered reader. Buffer reader, yes, this is the one. Buffer reader equal to new buffer reader, and I need to pass the file reader object. Okay, so
Okay,
basically here
but we didn't use any buffer writer
yes,
before, right?
while writing, right? So if you use the
Yeah.
buffer reader, so what it will do, so that will give you the buffer mechanism. Okay, first let me read this one, then I will do that part for writing data also. Okay,
Okay.
so now we are using buffer reader and we are passing the file reader object. Now we have a buffer reader object. So let me buffer reader dot, so read line. So what it will do, it will read line by line in the file, and we are assigning each line we are trying to read, and we are assigning to this one, and we need to check this should not be null. After that print the data name. That's all. Once the data reading part is done, what you have to do, so you have to close the connection. So now let me run this one. You can see the data, correct? We can able to
Yeah.
read this one. So here we are using two new classes, file reader and buffer reader. So this is about reading part. Now go back to the previous one, writing part. So here remove it, enable it, yes. So here we are using file writer, and here we can use one more class called buffered writer. Buffered writer, buffered writer equal to new buffered writer, and you can pass file writer, and you can use here buffered writer. So this is the best approach. So use file writer to create the file, and use a buffer writer. So that, what is the advantage of buffer writer mechanism? You know, it will maintain a buffer mechanism. It will not write the entire data in one shot. It will read piece by piece. Simple example is, right, so when you are watching movie from your system, right,
Yeah.
so you will copy the movie into your hard disk, correct? Say for instance, the movie is there in your hard disk and you have a RAM, correct? Say for instance your movie is 1.2 GB. Okay, so whenever you are watching movie, right, so what it will do, so it will try to get first 20 MB of movie into the RAM, correct? And it will process the 20 MB and it will display the data, it will display the movie, and after that again it will try to get some more 20 MB into the RAM and it will process it. Like that it will get piece by piece of memory and it will display it, correct?
Yeah.
So that is the way your system will work. In the similarly here also, the buffer reader advantage of that one. So if you want to write 1 GB of data into a file, so it will read part by part and it will write it, so that you will never get any performance issues and network issues. Clear, right? What is the advantage of buffer mechanism?
Yes.
And
I
another thing
understood.
is, and here you no need to convert the string into the bytes, it is not required. So you can write entire string as it is and you can read the string as it is and display it. So here there is no any conversion, here we are not doing any conversion. So this is another
So
advantage.
you can okay. So you can create a files without a buffer writer also, right?
Yes you can, yes you can, but this is the best approach if
But
you
we
take.
can
So
okay.
yeah, here you will
Okay.
get all these advantages, buffer mechanism and all.
Mm. Okay.
So these are the ways, these are the some of the ways to create files and writing the data and reading the data part.
Yeah.
And here, right, I think you saw so many new exceptions, correct? Compile time exceptions, new exception classes like IO exception, like file not found, so many
I will
exceptions.
not find it. Yeah.
So slowly when we are going for, I mean, we are going to see new file, new programs, then you will get more examples, more exceptions. So here I have exception and previously file not found. So like that we are going to see more exceptions. Clear, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, fine. So you just practice these examples. I will upload into GitHub and you just practice these examples. These three is very important. And tomorrow we will see some other topic.
Okay.
And if you have any questions related to files, you just practice it and we will discuss tomorrow.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.